So if you're wondering if Korean like black people, the answer is yes. But big black question mark. Can I see your freak shows? So basically I think those people, if they had the ability, would just like put me like in a freak show and just come to see my. It's mostly due to the fact that relationship between guys and girls in Korea are not all sexualized. Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Zélig. So today's video is going to be about dating in Korea, in Seoul. And I'm gonna be talking about dating with like Korean boys and dating also with Korean girls. I like it both. So for those who might know or might not know, 1 year ago I was living in Seoul for 3 months on a short like modeling contract, and I dipped my feet in the dating pond. No, it was not exactly like this. Strangely, when I arrived to like Seoul, I arrived in a kind of mood when I didn't really felt like sex dating basically. And I think been on a date with 4 or 5 people. I actually had my first date ever with a girl in Korea, because I've never been on a proper date with a girl before. Like, I mean, I make the clear difference between sex date and date. I hate when people like just mix it all up. It's not the same concept at all. So my actual first proper like date was in Seoul. The very funny thing is that my experience with like Korean boys and Korean girls were both very like different. Like to be honest, I was very disappointed with like Korean guys. And I'm gonna tell you why. I download like an app. I download like a local app. It's called Dixo or Giso or something like this. I don't even know, whatever. And I was getting tons of messages. But most of those messages would just read black big black question mark. Can I see your Can I see you? Do you have a Can I see you? And I was lucky the few times that I actually got a hi before I get that questions, because in most of the time that would just be all what they would write, like directly, not even hey, how you doing, yo, and yo. No, none of this. It would just be like purely aggressively, rudely vulgar. And first, even if I'm like super horny and super slutty mode, if you like write me this like out of the blue, I'm probably just gonna block your ass, or I'm not gonna like reply to you. But especially that I wasn't about that life anymore at all, I just basically felt really like infuriated. I think this is basically all based on the fetishization of black men, which is basically international, and probably even worse in, I mean, no, I would say like in Japan it's not that much, but in Korea, strangely, it was very intense, more intense than in Europe, because you have a lot of like people fetishizing like black men and like trying to put some stereotype on you, like of being aggressive, of being like sexually dominant, and of having like a monster. But in Korea it was even worse, as if I was like at the zoo or something. You know when they used to do like those freak shows? So basically I think those people, if they had the ability, would just like put me like in a freak show and just come to see my. And I felt very like uncomfortable with this, and at first it was like 1 message, 2 message, 3 message, and I was like, oh crap. But then when it's like over 200, I'm sure I'm not lying guys, I probably got like more than 200 of messages that was just asking me about my BFF down there. And I'm laughing about it now, but I got like really pissed and almost like, I don't know, because right before going to Korea, I was in Japan for the first time for like a month, and my experience was that they're like very gentle and they're like really like, hey, let's go have a drink, let's go eat something together. Even if they only had like in mind to be like your sex partner or something, they would still like not generally like not like just jump into bed. They would actually like try to show you around, ask you where you're coming from, etc, etc. And since a lot of people say that the closest to Japan in Asia is Korea, I imagine that people would be pretty much the same. Child, I was kidding myself. And at the end of my stay, I think probably after 2 months, I started like, I was still like on apps, but I was like barely even opening them because I was just so over it at that point. And that's when I actually met like 2 people that I quite like, and they're like really like nice and gentle, like, hey, how you doing, like, where are you from, how long are you staying, like basically they're like very friendly and very nice, and like we like hang out and everything before we actually got intimate. I'm gonna save like one of the story of one of those person that I met for like a story time, I think, because it kind of was like very funny. The strange thing also in Korea is like most gay men are basically in the closet. I think it's probably relatively rare to find openly gay guys. There is actually like a gay area. It's called how is it called again? Because they have these kind of hills that go like up and down and everything, and you really like just have to climb it. It's basically like as if you're going hiking, but there's actually concrete over it and houses, and then they have like a little like gay area and everything with like gay clubs and like transgender clubs. They even have like prostitutes and stuff like this, but still a lot of like the gay guys are in a closet because Korea is kind of a little bit like macho in a way. The funny thing is that at the same time, and I think it's actually because of that macho spirit, guys are very comfortable being like affectionate towards each other. So you might see like some friends, 2 guys sitting on each other's laps. It doesn't basically mean they're gay. It can just be like 2 genuine friends. They might like hug each other. They might like feed each other, like basically, yeah, they might feed each other like stuff to eat and stuff like this. Basically, I really love that part because worldwide and in the West, it's very acceptable for like girls to have this kind of behavior because girls are not really scared of like even being told like they're gay. So in Korea, it's basically the same for guys. Like friendship can basically just be like this, and it's very natural for people to behave that way, even though it's based on the fact that people don't even probably know that homosexuality is present in Korea, or they don't want to accept or see it. And since people don't feel like they might be object of homophobia, then they are not scared to have like man-to-man friendship and affection. So it's kind of sad in a way, but in a way I believe that if you like gay and you find like a boyfriend, you probably like hug each other and hold hands and stuff, and people might think you're just like friends. On the girl side, I mostly used Tinder, and I had like quite a lot of matches. I don't know how many, and I really met like amazing girls. Like we chatted, like some of them would spontaneously like talk to me. You know how it is like in the West when you go on Tinder and people are trying to play like hard to get, or they're not like texting you or they're not replying. This didn't happen to me like back then. Like girl would just be like, hey, how are you? And I feel like it's mostly due to the fact that relationship between guys and girls in Korea are not all sexualized. Like in the West, all relationships basically are sexualized. Like people also sometimes want to know whether you like gay, straight or bi, because they want to know like how they have to like handle the relationship, how they have to sexualize it or like unsexualize it, if that makes sense. But there I feel like they don't really sexualize relationship between men and women that much. So the girls, at least the one that I met, are very comfortable with like guys. So even if we're on a dating app or something, they're not like scared that I don't know that you're gonna become this creepy stalker or you're gonna have like sexual deviant behavior. They just like really just wanna get to know you. And for me, this is basically the basic of any relationship. Like even if we're gonna date or something, we have to like have a friendly approach at first. And I find it very hard sometimes in the West with like girls. They're often trying to get into seduction mode very quick on, or too hard to get mode. Whereas in Korea, they're like very friendly. They're like, hey, I'm like dancing. Do you want to like come to the club with me or something? Like I also went to the Hancock village with like one girl, and we hang out like the whole afternoon. Then we went to like a traditional Korean like tea place, and I also had like met a girl that was not Korean, and we also like went on a date, and I had more promiscuous dates as well, but that's another topic. To put it in a nutshell, and if I have to like give a grade, I would give like a 10/10 to like Korean girls. Like if you're Korean girls and you're watching, don't change everything to your approach. I think this is the basics to like a great relationship and a great dating relationship, when you just start with like friendship and with something. I mean, I don't know, being very comfortable. I felt very comfortable with them. I didn't feel like someone was like observing me and trying if I could like feel all the things that they were looking for. They're just like, oh, let's just let the chemistry like act. And I really appreciate that. And if I have to give like a grade to Korean guys side, 0. Since I met the two persons that were really like good looking and very like nice and like sweet and everything, we actually chatted with like one of them like not so long ago. I'm gonna give a 3. I'm sorry, but I can't forget all those like rude messages that I got. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button below, the little thumb up to keep me popping. Keep yourself happy. Jana.